It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth a hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Play along with us today and test your scientific literacy along with 6 outstanding elementary students here vying for the chance to move on to the semifinals to take on Woodmore Elementary. Let's meet today's teams. First, would you please welcome from Perrywood Elementary School. From Perrywood, it is Biza Hairston, Esdras Isango, and Rujiatu Sawana. And from Templeton Elementary School, say hello to Eileen Ordonez, Jonathan Campbell, and Eduardo Iglesias Cruz. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty with easier questions worth 5 and 10 points. There on the left, the tougher ones, 15, 20, ultimately 25, the toughest of the ball. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And as we were saying a moment ago, today's winner moves on in our competition to take on Woodmore Elementary in the semifinals. Both of today's teams have won once already, so we're expecting a good game today. Let's make sure everything works properly. Esdras, would you try the Perrywood buzzer? And they're all pushing it over there. Esdras and Rujiatu and Biza. Good luck to you today. And Templeton, would you try the green teams, Jonathan? Again, it's a kind of a group push over there. Jonathan and Edgardo and Eileen, good luck to you as well. Congratulations on making it this far in the competition. Let's have a great game and go alphabetically P before T. So Perrywood and Esdras, let's play the ball.
Let's go green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, if you live in a place for a long time, it is said that you have put down deep whats? Templeton.
Roots.
Roots, yeah, you got deep roots in your community. Yeah, good. Thanks, Eileen, for your help. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. You know, we humans, along with a lot of other animals, are most active during the day, so we are known as diurnal creatures. But creatures that are active at night are known as these kinds of creatures, Templeton.
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal, yeah. That's one of the easy ones. Come on, guys. Let's be listening. Get ready to push that buzzer. Go green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, a doctor known as a pediatric endocrinologist, boy, that's a mouthful, a pediatric endocrinologist would be treating a child who is too short, needs a new heart valve, or is a colicky baby. Which of those 3 would a pediatric endocrinologist treat? Jonathan.
Baby.
The baby, the colicky baby?
Yeah.
No. Perrywood. That pediatric endocrinologist, would it treat a child, a baby that is too short, one that needs a new heart valve, or is a colicky baby?
One that needs a new heart valve?
No, endocrinology is a study of hormones, and people who are too short don't have enough hormones. So too short was the answer there. Go green.
Let's get physical for 15 points.
For 15 points, and let's get physical. Boy, this number is going to floor you, but the answer is very simple. Get ready on your buzzers. 6.674 times 10 to the minus 11th meters per cubed per kilogram per cubic seconds is the accepted value for this force represented by the letter G. Templeton.
Gravity.
Yes, the force of gravity. That's it. Good. Go.
Science Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, tetanus is a conditions, a disease that none of us wants to get. You can get it if you step on a rusty nail. The tetanus bacterium is one of the few that is anaerobic, meaning it can grow and spread even if this gas is not available. What gas? Anaerobic, Templeton.
Pass it to Eileen.
Eileen.
Oxygen?
Oxygen, yeah. Anaerobic means no air or no oxygen. So you'd have to have studied your prefixes and suffixes to really get that one. Try again. Go.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, three great American inventors used to go on camping trips together in the early 1900s. Harvey Firestone, yeah, he helped invent tires. Henry Ford came up with the first automobile. And this man who invented the light bulb also went with them. Templeton?
Thomas Edison?
You got that right. Thomas Edison, the incandescent bulb, which we are phasing out now because we're getting into LED lighting. Incandescent bulbs, of course, give off a lot of heat. Go.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. That's a visual question. Look at the monitor in the studio. Come on, teams. Look at the monitor in the studio and listen to my question. Listen for the clues. These brown fuzzy flowers, they're the male flowers on this plant. The name of that plant has a feline name. What's it called, Templeton?
Pass it to Edgardo.
Cattail?
Yeah, it's a cattail. That's the feline name. Good. Thank you, Edgardo. Go.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. You know, the Amazon jungle has so many trees and provides through photosynthesis so much oxygen for the world that it is often likened to these respiratory organs that we have in our bodies. The Amazon jungle is like a giant, what, Perrywood?
Lungs.
Lungs, you got that right. Good, the word respiratory was the clue. Glad to hear you get back in the game. Come on, Esdras.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The ever-ready Bunny has done it again. Come up with the ultimate lithium version of one of these AA dry cells known as a what? Templeton?
Battery.
Yeah. The Bunny and ever-ready, bingo. I would have been on that buzzer and said battery because that's where you knew I was heading. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Teams astronomers were looking at Jupiter and all of a sudden, whoa. They found 12 more of these orbiting Jupiter. Templeton?
Moons.
Moons. They found 12 more moons, now making for a total of 79. Wow. Good. Go.
Body systems for 5 points.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, teenage boys in their room oftentimes aren't aware that there are a lot of stinky socks in there. You could say that they're nose blind or that they're hard of what? Esdras?
Hard-headed. Hard-headed.
Not hard-headed. They are hard of what if they are nose blind and can't detect all those smelly socks?
Hard. Pass it to Eileen.
Hard of?
Smell?
Yeah, hard of smell or hard of smelling. There is no such thing, but we're going to make it hard of smelling. Buzzer says first round is over. Score 150, Templeton 60 for Perrywood, and we'll be back with the second part of today's game in just a moment. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. If you're tuning in for the very first time, we have actually been around for, this is our 33rd year. We bring elementary and middle school students here and we test their science literacy, and boy, they know an awful lot about science, and they're great sports, and they're great ambassadors for their schools. If you didn't tune in earlier this season, you might have missed some of these students, but you can have a chance to meet them now. Let's go to Perrywood. And Esdras, welcome back to the game here. Tell us why you like being on Science Bowl.
Because I like science.
You like science. Well, this is the place to be. Now, Perrywood is a great school, and who's your principal? Do you have two principals?
It's just one. Well, there's a vice principal.
We have a vice principal.
Give us their names.
Miss Poole and Miss Peterson.
Wonderful, and thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. And you also have two sponsors, don't you? Who are they?
Miss Henson and Miss D'Onofrio.
Wonderful, and they'll be out in just a few moments' time. And both of you were alternates, Biza and Ruggiatu, so who are the alternates now? Who's in the other room?
Justin and Christopher.
Christopher, wonderful, all right. And I was asking you before, Esdras, about something cool at your school, and I remember Christopher telling me that there are some extracurricular activities like Green Club and Chess Club. You guys involved in anything like that?
I'm signing up for environmental club.
Environmental club, yeah, that's kind of a green club too, isn't it? Yeah. Esdras, tell me about what you want to do when you get older.
A game designer. I want to be a game designer.
Game designer, okay. What kind of games do you play now? What kind of games do you like?
Fortnite, Splatoon 2, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey.
Wonderful. All right. So you hope to be part of that fraternity that comes up with all these new games for the future. That's just great. Rugiatu, tell us what you do in your spare time.
I like to do dance, read some books, and gymnastics.
Gymnastics. Where do you do your gymnastics? At school?
I have a spare part in my house. I do gymnastics.
Very nice. Of course, that's great exercise. Yeah, yeah. This is good exercise for the mind and gymnastics for the body. And Biza, tell us your story. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a vet.
A vet, yeah. And you have a dog, don't you? You have a chocolate dog, yeah? What's the dog's name?
Hershey.
Hershey. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to watch YouTube and play games.
And play games. All right. Good to have you on the show. Templeton, nice to have you guys back again in your matching yellow shirts. The Perrywood folks are in their white shirts over here. Jonathan, tell us your principal's name.
Miss Ebony Harris.
Wonderful. Yes, and I know she's here and supporting you. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Lynch.
Miss Lynch, yes. Boy, she was so anxious to get you guys on, and we had an opening, and I'm really glad you were able to take it. Alternates on your team.
We have Yiddish Supa and Haiti Morales Martinez.
Wonderful, and they're great alternates. They're an integral part of this team, and we'll meet them in just a few moments' time. And Templeton, great school. Tell me something about it we should know.
We have a high curriculum, and we have after-school programs.
After-school programs. Like what?
We have Science Bowl.
Yeah. Thank you for the plug. Yeah.
And then we have some ESOLs.
Yeah.
And another thing I like about my school is that the students make the teachers laugh while having fun.
That is great, because if you can make something fun, people are going to remember it and they're going to want to participate. Jonathan, what do you want to do when you get older?
I would like to be a doctor or a nurse.
Yeah, because I know medicine is in your family, your brother and your mother, and you're going to follow in their footsteps. And Edgardo, you're a soccer player, and last time I suggested you might want to, because he wants to make a lot of money in this world, maybe be a superstar soccer player. There he is, he's ready to do it. But no, you want to do it how?
I want to make games and sell them.
So you're going to be competing with Esdras, because he's going to be making games too. You guys are going to be in the same store there, or are you going to be online?
I already started on code.com.
Oh my gosh. Esdras, have you started already? You're all, okay, they're in competition already. Eileen, nice to have you back. You know so much science. You're obviously a great student, and you've been reading and keeping up with the news, and someday you want to be a lawyer, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to have empathy for other people's problems and be their advocate when things go badly in life. Tell me what you do in your spare time.
I like to play soccer.
Yeah. And you play on a team?
Yeah.
What's the team?
Prince Georgia Soccer Academy.
Wonderful. They're lucky to have you, as are we today on this game. All right. So you guys ready to do this one more time? Let's be all in. Let's give it our all. Okay. 150 to 60. Templeton, you get to start us out in the second half.
Let's do Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, Jeffrey's tongue isn't black, like the real-life animals is black, so that it doesn't get sunburned when it's eating the leaves on the tallest trees, Templeton.
Giraffe.
Giraffe. Yeah, when I said Jeffrey, Toys R Us, giraffe. Bing, 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 bing. Connect the dots. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, the carapace and the plastron are the upper and lower shells for this reptile. Templeton?
Turtles.
Turtle. Yeah, that's the top and the bottom of a turtle. That's what you call those two parts. Try again.
Body Systems for 10.
Body Systems for 10 points. Teams, 2,800 Americans are awaiting right now one of these largest internal organs because they want a transplant of it. Largest internal organ. 2,800 Americans would like to get a what, Esdras?
A heart.
Not a heart. Good try. Templeton?
A kidney.
A liver. A liver. A liver is the largest internal organ. Try again, Green.
All right, let's do science potpourri for 5.
Again, please.
Science potpourri for
Potpourri
5.
for 5 points. Teams, I'll give you your question here. Science potpourri for 5. Judges, I think, did we already choose that one? No. Okay. Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You don't want to call the plumber too often to come to your house to unplug your clogged toilet. So always use toilet paper because that is designed to dissolve in water. Do not use these that are best used for blowing your nose, Templeton.
Tissues.
Tissue, yeah. Tissue does not break up easily in the toilet. Go Green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, the newest food craze when you go into a restaurant someday is you eat this food that's been frozen and the smoke comes out your nose. The food is frozen in the liquefied version of this gas, Perrywood.
Liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, liquid nitrogen, absolutely right. That liquid where you can put in a banana and take it out and hit it with a hammer and it shatters like glass. Good answer. Thank you, Ruggiato, for your help. Go, Esdras.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. All right, teams, your question is as follows. In practically every science museum in this country, there is a Van de Graaff generator where you can go in, put your hand on top of the silver ball, and all of a sudden, your hair is standing on end because that generator generates what? What does it generate, Templeton?
Static electricity.
Yes, it's static electricity. It's really good if you get someone with lots of hair. That's funny. You got to take a picture of that. Go, Green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, 88% of adults in America are said to have witnessed this celestial event on August 21st, 2017. What did they all go out to see?
Solar eclipse.
The solar eclipse, the total solar eclipse. You know, we got those special little things at the 7-Eleven to look at so we didn't damage our retinas. Good. Go Green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. If you went to the beach last summer, I hope you didn't go into the water because there were sea lice in there. Sea lice is another name for these stinging, slimy cylinderates that often are found in the ocean water. Templeton.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, sea lice, another name for a small kind of jellyfish. And they sting and you can't see them. Awful. Go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, this word describes one of the developmental stages early in a human being's life, and it also can describe a young plant. A young plant or a very young human being.
Pass it to Eileen.
Embryo.
Yes, indeed. Embryo it is. Well done. Go Green.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. If you saw the movie Zootopia, you know that all the animals came to try to live together in harmony. The hunters and the hunted. Well, another way to describe the hunters and the hunted would be, Jonathan?
Predators and prey.
Predator and prey, that's absolutely right. Instead of H and H, P and P. Good, go again.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. All right, teams. You know that a lizard, if it loses its tail, can regrow its tail, just like an amphibian can regrow its tail, like a salamander. But they cannot generate, neither of them, the neurons, which are the nerve cells in those tails. I'll give you these points if you can spell neurons. Neurons. All right, Perrywood has rung in, and Ruggiato, she said, I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get some points from my home team. Are you going to spell neurons?
Yeah.
Say the word for me nice and clear.
Neurons.
One more time.
Neurons.
Okay, these are nerve cells. Go ahead.
N-O-R-I-N-E-S.
Ooh, no, good try. Templeton, you can get the points if you can spell neurons. Who's going to be my speller? Jonathan, say it for me.
Neurons.
Yes, neurons, yes.
Neurons.
Got him. Yes. Good job. Nicely done, Jonathan. Go.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Teams, one of the largest animals on Earth that lives in the ocean can't make up its mind if it's a fish or a mammal. Yeah, Templeton.
A whale.
No, not quite. Perrywood. Perrywood, one of these largest creatures on Earth. Esdras, are you listening to me? Yeah. One of the largest creatures on Earth that lives in the ocean can't seem to make up its mind if it's a fish or a mammal. So its name is one of each. Name that creature.
Pass it to Beza.
Why are you doing that to me, she says. Why are you passing it my way? It is a whale shark. A whale shark. Mammal, fish together. Try again, please. Green.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline Science for 20 points. Teams, you've heard of the Nobel Prizes. Well, there are also prizes called the Ig Nobel Prizes. These are given to experiments that are kind of silly, but sometimes work. This year, one of the Ig Nobel Prizes went to someone who discovered that if you ride roller coasters, if you have stones that are in these renal organs, they might get popped out, which is a good thing. Stones that form in what renal organs in your body might be dislodged if you ride a roller coaster?
Stomach.
Not just stomach. You might get stones in what organ, Perrywood, that could be knocked out if you ride that roller coaster?
Liver.
Kidney stones. Kidney stones. Try again, Green.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 is the big one in category. I want 2 parts to this answer. You know, the leaves are falling in the fall right now, and a lot of them fall on cars. Bad thing. Tell your parents, get those leaves off, get them off as fast as you can, because there is acid in the leaves because of these 2 substances. What 2 things might be found on those leaves that can eat away at the paint on your car? Come on, Perrywood, talk among yourselves. You're not even sharing ideas here in case I have to come to you. What might be kind of really toxic, acidic on a leaf that could eat away at car paint? What might be on those leaves that would mean, hey, I better brush them off as fast as I can? It's a hard question, but think about it. Templeton, what you got for me?
Chlorophyll and
That's a reasonable idea, chlorophyll. It's not the actually the chlorophyll actually is long gone because the leaves are brown now. What do you think, Perrywood? Any idea? What might be some of the substance? What might be a substance that would fall or be attached to the leaf that could eat away at the car? It would be the sap from the tree, and also the pollen grains. The pollen grains also have some acidity in them. Okay, green thing go. Green team go.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. All right, it is a visual question. If you could look at the monitor in the studio, please. The U.S. Postal Service has just issued these beautiful stamps. These creatures glow in the dark. They're bioluminescent. Some of you will recognize that firefly there. I'll give you 25 points. You have to think about this. If you can give me 2 good things that happen if you can glow in the dark. How would that help an animal or a creature if it glowed in the dark? What advantage might that give a creature? All right, Perrywood thinks they know. Talk about it among yourselves so you don't just fly off the handle here. Tell me what you're thinking, because you have some ideas here. Templeton, you think, because I might come back to you. All right, so there you are. You're a firefly. You're blinking. Your lights are flashing. Why might this be a good thing?
Because if you could see a prey coming, if you're glowing, it will shine on the predator, so you could see it coming, so you move away.
Yeah, exactly right. So you can see your prey, and then you can also avoid things if you see something coming at you. Good job. Nice answer. Go Red. Oh, that buzzer says we've come to the end of the game just as Perrywood was starting to get cooking here. We'll be back with a wrap-up of today's game in just a moment. Don't you go away. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, indeed, a good game here on Science Bowl. And you know, these are tough questions. If you're here playing for the very first time, as the alternates were on the Perrywood team, it makes it very difficult. But boy, did they acquit themselves well, and we are very proud of them, as we are the team from Templeton. Our final tally today is Perrywood 95, Templeton 265. Congratulations to the team in yellow back there, Edgardo and Jonathan and Eileen. And look at Yiddish back there. He just can't contain himself. Haiti, congratulations to you, Miss Lynch and Miss Harris. Thank you for being here. Miss Harris is the principal here. And boy, we are very happy to have you with us. Let's have a nice round of applause for the Templeton team. And the Perrywood team, poor Esdras is over there. He is beside himself. Everybody wants to win on here, but we know he has won. He was a great team captain, and we're proud of him. We're proud of Ruggiato and Biza and Christopher and Justin and Miss Henson. Thank you so much for being part of this. A round of applause for the Perrywood team. And thank you all for being with us on Science Bowl. Hope to see you next time. I'm Dave Zarin. Until then, bye-bye.